According to the FBI, the indictment for these arrests stem from a drug trafficking operation that ended here in Memphis.
The charges target what investigators call a deep network of corruption.
2 county sheriffs and 12 other law enforcement officers in Mississippi have been indicted in connection with a years-long conspiracy to traffic drugs.
The FBI has exposed and destroyed one of the darkest scandals in modern American policing, a massive drug escort conspiracy in Mississippi, where sworn officers and elected sheriffs acted as paid enforcers for a Mexican drug cartel. 20 defendants have been indicted, including 2 county sheriffs, 12 active police officers, and 6 civilian accomplices, all charged with bribery, narcotics conspiracy, and protecting cartel shipments under the cover of law enforcement. Federal officials called the network a betrayal of the badge and a collapse of public trust, describing how Mississippi lawmen used flashing patrol lights to escort what they thought were cocaine convoys through the Mississippi Delta into Tennessee. According to charging documents, this wasn't isolated corruption. It was an organized system where cartel cash purchased official protection for years. The FBI's Public Corruption Task Force, working under the Department of Justice, said the operation began after agents received intelligence that multiple local officers were offering safe passage to traffickers for payment.
What trade, the trust that the public placed in them, disgraced the badge and undermined the hard work of good law enforcement officers across this state and across the region.
They found instead was an entire alliance of police and cartel brokers, a criminal infrastructure built on authority, deception, and greed. The sting began in 2023 when undercover FBI agents posed as representatives of a Mexican cartel looking to transport 25 kilograms of cocaine north through Mississippi. Within weeks, officers from multiple counties volunteered to escort the fake shipments for cash. Some demanded up to $37,500 per trip, promising to clear the road and keep other units off the route. In video recordings later used as evidence, uniformed deputies are seen blocking traffic, running lights and sirens, and communicating over police radio to coordinate protection details. Agents said the speed and confidence with which the officers accepted the bribes revealed a culture of corruption that had been thriving for years. They weren't tricked, one FBI official said. They were on payroll, and they knew exactly who they were protecting. The scheme grew so bold that on several occasions, full sheriff-led convoys escorted vehicles that they believed carried cocaine and drug proceeds through rural counties, smiling as they pocketed their payoff envelopes. At the center of the scandal were Washington County Sheriff Milton Gaston and Humphreys County Sheriff Bruce Williams, both accused of authorizing and participating in the illegal escort runs. Prosecutors said Gaston disguised cartel payments as campaign donations, laundering the money through personal accounts and falsified reports. Williams allegedly gave direct approval for deputies to assist the undercover couriers, assuring them that they were covered from any local interference. The Justice Department said the 2 men effectively turned their departments into a cartel security service in uniform, allowing traffickers to move narcotics with government protection. They traded honor for money, U.S. Attorney Clay Joyner said, and in doing so, they surrendered their badge to the cartel. Over the course of several months, FBI undercover teams documented multiple runs in which sheriff patrols escorted vehicles carrying fake cocaine shipments and cash bundles. The footage shows officers clearing roadblocks, waving convoys through intersections, and congratulating themselves afterward in parking lots where bribes were handed off. The sting ended when federal agents swooped in simultaneously across 3 counties, arresting all 20 participants in coordinated raids. The undercover sting that ultimately brought down the Mississippi Police Cartel Alliance was unlike anything the FBI's Public Corruption Task Force had ever executed before. Codenamed Operation Delta Shield, it unfolded quietly over several months as agents staged multiple controlled shipments designed to expose the full reach of law enforcement corruption across the Delta region. Undercover FBI and DEA agents posed as cartel couriers, arranging fake cocaine convoys to travel along Highway 82 and Interstate 55, routes known to traffickers. To their disbelief, local officers not only accepted bribes to escort the convoys, but also offered tactical advice on how to bypass DEA checkpoints and avoid federal aircraft surveillance. Video recordings captured officers laughing while flipping on their patrol lights, escorting unmarked vehicles packed with dummy cocaine through county lines as if performing official duties. Some even radioed nearby agencies to clear lanes for the sheriff's operation, effectively turning state highways into protected cartel corridors. Federal prosecutors revealed that these were not one-time incidents. They were routine protection runs arranged through middlemen who collected cartel money and distributed cash envelopes among participants. In total, 20 defendants were indicted. 14 law enforcement officers and 6 civilian accomplices, all charged with bribery, narcotics trafficking conspiracy, and weapons violations. 19 were also charged with illegal firearm possession during drug crimes, since most escorts involved fully armed patrols. Several defendants were found carrying department-issued rifles and handguns while guarding what they believed to be active cartel shipments. Prosecutors said that in at least 3 cases, convoys crossed into Tennessee under direct sheriff supervision, a federal crime under interstate trafficking statutes. These men were paid not to enforce the law, but to sell it, one FBI official said. They didn't just protect the load, they legitimized it. The operation was modeled on real Mexican cartel smuggling logistics, providing investigators with a blueprint of how deeply transnational organizations had infiltrated small-town policing. For years, cartels have relied on corrupt officers to greenlight shipments moving through rural highways, betting that no one would question law enforcement vehicles leading the way. According to the FBI's Intelligence Division, the Mississippi network mirrored existing cartel models used in Texas, Georgia, and Louisiana, where traffickers exploit local departments struggling with low pay and poor oversight. Cartel recruiters targeted officers with financial problems or disciplinary records, offering thousands in untaxed cash to escort the load and look the other way. In Mississippi's case, cartel cash moved through intermediaries, often disguised as donations or security contracts for local events. Agents confirmed that the money originated from Mexican cartel financiers operating out of Matamoros and Reynosa, proving that the conspiracy's reach extended beyond U.S. borders. When the indictments were announced, FBI Deputy Director Andrew Bailey stood before reporters and called the scandal a cleansing moment for American law enforcement. His tone was direct. Corruption has infected the Delta. It has eroded the badge. But today, the infection is being burned out. Bailey confirmed that the investigation had uncovered systemic corruption, not just isolated misconduct. When sheriffs wear the uniform of justice while guarding cocaine, that is not failure. That is betrayal, he said, and betrayal will be met with accountability. Bailey also revealed that the FBI's National Public Corruption Unit is expanding oversight programs across southern states to identify similar schemes. His final words resonated through every department watching. The era of cartel infiltration through local police is over. Anyone who sells their oath to a trafficker will face the same justice we delivered here today. When the U.S. Attorney's Office in Oxford, Mississippi, formally unsealed the indictments, U.S. Attorney Clay Joyner did not mince words. He described the scandal as a monumental betrayal of public trust, emphasizing that every badge involved had been weaponized against the very people it was meant to protect. Joyner confirmed that some officers were paid more than $37,000 per escort, often meeting undercover agents in restaurant parking lots to receive envelopes of cartel cash. Surveillance footage showed deputies laughing, shaking hands, and even posing beside their patrol cars after successfully protecting what they believed were cartel convoys. These were not momentary lapses in judgment, Joyner said. These were deliberate criminal acts carried out by men who swore to uphold the law. He added that several of the defendants had been previously commended for community service and valor, proof that corruption can exist even under a decorated badge. Joyner assured the public that the Justice Department would strip away every layer of this rot from the streets to the sheriff's office. The political shockwave across Mississippi was immediate. Governor Tate Reeves issued a public statement within hours of the arrests, declaring that no one is above the law, not even those sworn to enforce it. He called the scandal a national embarrassment and demanded an emergency review of all county law enforcement hiring and internal oversight procedures. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety and the Department of Corrections quickly announced suspensions, internal audits, and dismissals for implicated personnel. DPS Commissioner Sean Tyndall was blunt in his assessment. The cartel just lost its shield in Mississippi. Civil rights advocates and former law enforcement officers called the scandal a generational turning point, exposing deep cracks in rural policing where financial desperation meets cartel opportunism. For residents of the Delta counties, the news hit harder than any headline. It was personal. Communities that once waved to passing patrol cars now viewed them with suspicion, wondering how long their protectors had been paid to look the other way. Inside Washington, the case triggered renewed urgency at the Justice Department's Criminal Division, which ordered a federal audit of local law enforcement corruption risks in states identified as cartel transit corridors. The investigation's code name, Operation Delta Shield, has since become a model framework for identifying corruption-based infiltration in small agencies. According to the FBI's National Public Corruption Unit, the same methodology used in Mississippi is already being replicated in Texas, Alabama, and New Mexico, where cartel-linked escorting and protection for hire schemes are suspected. The Mexican cartels lost their inside men today, one senior FBI official said. They had sheriffs, they had deputies, they had protection, and now they have nothing. Attorney General Pamela Bondi praised the combined work of the FBI, DEA, and U.S. Attorney's Office, calling the operation a warning to every officer tempted by cartel cash. Your badge will not save you. Federal prosecutors confirmed that all 20 defendants face potential life sentences under federal narcotics and bribery statutes. Several departments are already preparing civil asset forfeiture actions to seize vehicles, homes, and campaign accounts tied to the defendants. Meanwhile, public pressure continues to mount for greater transparency, as citizens demand reforms that ensure cartel influence can never again penetrate local policing. The Justice Department said Operation Take Back America, the national initiative under which this case was prosecuted, will now expand its focus to cartel-linked corruption in public institutions, including sheriff's offices and border counties nationwide. In a final statement, U.S. Attorney Joyner summed up what many across Mississippi felt. This case isn't about one department or one state. It's about accountability. Because if a cartel can buy a badge in America, then no community is safe, and that ends now.